James Lynch here for Sportscenter.ca with Tom Gallicchio, who we just found out tonight is going to be fighting James Krause. First off, how frustrating was it not being able to tell people that you're fighting James Krause?
It kind of became a fun game, just like how everybody's asking, how'd you do? How'd you do? So I said, I don't know. You're going to have to tune in to find out. Just like I was enjoying the season. It's kind of fun keeping people guessing.
And how happy were you with the way you came off this season? It seemed like you were really a focal point, and your personality really got to shine on this season.
You know, I felt like I really kept it real, and I had a lot of struggle. Yeah. And I had 2 surgeries before I got on the show. I kind of didn't get in the UFC, and since TUF 22, it's all been kind of downhill. So. And I really got to show my struggle, and it gave me the chance. The UFC didn't let me in the front door, so I found a way through the back.
One of the things you talked about on the show is, going all in on this. You said like you've devoted your whole life into getting into the UFC, and now that it's finally here, how happy are you just to be here, being part of Fight Week?
Oh, it's amazing. I've never fought in Vegas besides in the TUF House, but it doesn't really count. TUF 22, I saw the T-Mobile Arena being built. Yeah. So that was really, really cool. I saw them putting those tiles up every day, seeing it a little more built. And now I'm at the MGM Signature, and I'm getting ready to fight a contender in the UFC. I mean, James Krause is on the 2-fight win streak for the UFC.
Yeah, exactly. And let's talk about the matchup. You're fighting James Krause, a guy that, like you said, is a contender and a guy that had a UFC contract. How much do you think a win over him would sort of boost your profile, especially the fact that he was under a UFC contract?
This is, I have everything to gain from this. Yeah. And I've fought a long time. I fought overseas. I fought in all the top local guys. And you could see I got thrown in there in the mix against a lot of the top guys right away. So it was really a chance to test myself and show the world that, hey, they've been missing out on me, and I wasn't always given the opportunities. But I'm very, very thankful for the opportunity that TUF 25 has brought to my life.
And have you ever been in a situation like this where the opponent has all the pressure? Krause was under a UFC contract. You didn't have a UFC contract, and here you are. How does it feel?
Oh, no, I have all the pressure because, you know what? If he drops this, he's probably still going to be in the UFC because he's coming off of it. I have the pressure. I'm here to stay. Yeah. This is everything. It's not over. This has been a long and strenuous task. I mean, I've been fighting big guys for the last year, through the whole season. I had my surgeries, and I haven't even been on the mat for a year. I got on the mat in October. Yeah. So we're not even a year on the mat, and I got thrown in the mix, and I had 3 fights, and no matter what, there were 3 exciting fights. The 2 I finished, and 1 was a really exciting fight. So I'm enjoying it, but there's a lot of pressure.
And just looking at him as an opponent, how do you sort of feel like you match up against him?
Oh shoot, he's a very, very tough opponent. I got to come and bring my A game 100%, and he's a very, very tough task in front of me.
And training partners for this fight, Team Quest, who's helping you get ready for this one?
Training partners for Team Quest. We joked around. This was the first time Sam Alvey wasn't my main training partner.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's usually me and him just going at it, brawling. Yeah. But I had Fernando Gonzalez, Jesse Taylor. Well, he came in once or twice before he went to Colorado, which was a smart move for him for this camp. Yeah. Fernando Gonzalez, my coach Corey Grant.
Chris Curtis at all? Did you train with him?
Chris Curtis came out for the ass end of the camp, so yeah, he came in and we worked with him, especially the last week. He's been kind of my main guy. Sean Strickland was there, always there to beat me up a little bit. Shoot, who else is there?
Well, Dan Henderson's there, obviously. How much does him as a coach and being there as just a good role model, a guy who's been in the sport for so long and done it at a high level?
Oh, let me tell you this about Dan Henderson. Yeah. Dan Henderson came in like 3 days after neck surgery. Yeah. He actually had titanium discs put in, so he's even more of a cyborg now. Yeah. Now he's official true life transformer. Yeah. So they put old truck parts in him, and then 2 days later, he's showing me takedowns with his neck. He's still in it. He's like, oh, that hurt a little. But no, pay attention. So he's been awesome. And I had my grappling coach, Poncho, Ricardo Feliciano is his full name, and my boxing coach, Gustavo. I've also, Joe Stevenson's been helping me a lot.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
I go to him once or twice a week. So he's a great guy, and he calls me like twice a day.
That's so cool. As far as your corner on Saturday, who's going to be cornering you?
My corner is going to be Poncho,
okay,
Gustavo, and Corey Grant, and they've been my coaches for a long time since I got to Team Quest, and we want to. It's always everybody always wants to throw the superstar Dan Henderson in, but these guys have put a lot of time into me, so they're out, they get the spotlight, and I'm very confident in my corner.
Now, I should mention to my audience, I got to thank Tom for doing this because we are like less than 8 hours away from the weigh-ins tomorrow, the early morning weigh-ins. How's the weight right now? You got to weigh in tomorrow morning.
I got my last workout in. Your camera guy was there for it.
Yeah.
I was about a pound over, but I've been waking up about a pound under, so I'm good. I could walk around heavier. Yeah. But what's me walking around 7 pounds heavier? That just means I'm going to be a little fatter. It's not like it's going to be instant muscle. So it just had to stay disciplined because I know enough.
Friday night, how do you see this fight ending?
Friday night, I'm just going to go after it. It's going to be a crazy fight. James is going to go after it. We're going to try to make it exciting, I'm sure. I have nothing but respect for the guy. I lived with him for 6 weeks. And actually, interesting fact enough, James Krause officially had to fight the whole room. Yeah. Our room was Ramsey, Jesse Taylor, and me. So Krause had to fight. Krause had to fight the whole room. So my hat's off to him. And he was really, really a great guy. And I know he's a very talented fighter. So yeah, we're gonna go after it, and hopefully we could live up to what the Ultimate Fighter was like Stephan Bonner, Forrest Griffin, and hopefully we can make it a crazy fight like that.
Before I let you go, I got to give you a big amount of credit because I saw you do stand-up comedy last night with Adam Hunter. How was that experience getting to do that and get out of your comfort zone, especially during fight week?
Well, it was definitely stressful because I had to fit it into the schedule. And it was great. I've always wanted to open for Adam. He's an outstanding comedian. I'm a big comedian buff. I've watched stand-up comedians since I was in middle school wrestling.
Yeah. Who are some of your favorite stand-up guys aside from Adam Hunter? Obviously, we have to.
Yeah, absolutely. I just seen Tom Segura. He's one of my favorite. Nice. Louis C.K., Hannibal Buress. Who else? I could go on and on. George Carlin's an all-time great. I really loved him. Dave Chappelle's coming back. I made a good comeback. I could go on. You
named a whole bunch there. I think that's a good lineup. If I had a starting lineup for stand-up comedy, that would be a good starting lineup.
Absolutely. And you always like the Jerry Seinfelds and the Chris Rocks. I could sit here and talk to you about comedy all day. And actually, when I'm making big cuts, I'll go sit in the bathtub and I'll buy a new comedy CD on my phone. I'll actually buy it. I will, I got to support the art. Yeah. Put it there, and when I'm feeling tortured, maybe I could even laugh like ha ha ha, because it's kind of funny, but I'm kind of in pain.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I really appreciate you doing this interview, Tom. I just remind my audience where they can get a hold of you on social media. If you got any sponsors, shout outs, thank yous, anything like that, man, the floor is yours.
All right, sponsors. I haven't got so big on sponsors yet. I've just kind of been staying focused, but Via Sports Drink has been sponsoring me right now with product. Just because I like the product, and so they started sending me things. Dedicated Tattoos, they did my cover up. They are beyond awesome. East Street Bagel, they helped me when I was getting injured, and they've always been there for me. So East Street Bagel and Wall, the lab Cryogenics, they've been helping me recover, and of course CVAC in Temecula. CVAC has been awesome. It's been doing elevation training, so I get in the CVAC pod. Actually, some point in camp, I'm always quick to call things snake oil and not believe it, but this stuff really works. I scratched my cornea working for KO Candy, of course, not even in training, and the doctor said it was one of the worst scratches he's seen. Within a day I recovered, and I think that's because I've been doing that, and I'm also part cyborg myself. Yeah,
that's excellent. Tom Gallicchio on Twitter, right?
Yeah, Tom Gallicchio. It's TOMGALLICCHIO, and that's the same thing on Instagram. Then I got a fan page, support KO Candy as well, and also the Tomcast 2.0. That's me and Joe Daddy's podcast. It's live. We got a production team, and we're gonna take off. We were on a little bit of a hiatus, but now we're coming back strong after this.